No!
Sorry, joke that was big. I don't know why that made it not transition when I did that, but I'm unmuted, so we're good. Hi.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Good to see you. So, yes. So this is just a story time. So the whole vibe of this one is just, I thought it'd be like good to just kind of focus because there's a lot that's happened this week. So, you've probably heard bits and pieces through different, I don't know, Final Fantasy, Ori, a couple of bit in Apollo. Yeah, that one. So, yes, hello, everyone. Yes. So, yeah, this is going to be a whole saga, which is why we're starting a little early as well, considering we'll get to that. That's a new thing as of today, too, but we will, we will figure that part. I'm sure it will be fine. Also, I realized something on here. Should I do this?
Hi,
Well,
I'm here now. Thank
how
you.
are you?
Where I was.
Yeah. Wait, if I do this, there you go. Let's get rid of this one. Now you're snuggled up on there. No, you're there now.
My twin.
I control. Actually, wait. Do I have a? Oh wait, no, I can't do this. I haven't fully completed making this. I learned a way to make this doable with the Stream Deck. So if I do this, and maybe just, oh wait, no, that's not gonna work at all because I didn't make one for that. Okay, let's go with this one. Did it work? Okay, good. Okay, we'll go with that one. So, lots of power. So yes, how to preface this? If you saw the end of the last Apollo Justice stream, I was announcing that, okay.
Yeah, very subtly.
Very subtly, okay, because I had just learned about it. I was very excited and nervous and tired. All right, so the crux of this story is actually
Really
my
easy.
adventure into getting checked for cancer. And spoiler alert, I am okay. Everything's fine. I learned as of the past couple days that I'm clean and everything's fine. So much as my story seemed to go, that the story is not. Thank you. The story is not about the cancer check. It's everything around it. Kind of like with the deer poop story. It's not about the deer getting covered in deer poop. It's about everything that happened near it, because just so much happened that I have to basically create this stream to tell it all in a way. Hello.
Yeah.
Missed.
Now,
So yes.
I hate to do this. A
Dude.
very unrelated question.
No, it's fine. All right.
So, you know how you are changing all your faces down there on the little thing, right?
Yeah.
How did you do that on OBS? No, on the PSD again. How did you change your face? I looked away when you guys were doing that.
Oh, in Fugi?
No, in the PSD it's I had to outline.
Oh,
my
it's gonna take
faces.
some explaining.
Got
Mostly
it.
just put the face over the other face and made them similar sizes, basically.
Got it.
But-
I just didn't know how to replace them.
Okay.
Got it.
I'll see if I can show you for that one later. But yes. Hi everybody. Yes, we're good. So as I said, this is the preamble of everything is fine. But I feel like knowing this because I kept it secret this whole time because I didn't know if it was gonna be a problem until I had it confirmed. So it's I don't want to worry anybody beforehand. But then it's gonna add a lot of flavor to everything that I went through. Because
Birds.
it just made it extra spicy. Yeah, we'll get to the bird. Or we will get to the bird. Don't even worry about the bird. We will get to that. Okay.
Jay.
Yes.
I'm a little worried about the bird.
No. I think the bird's had its revenge. I think. Anyway, let's see. Okay. So, yes, this starts. Boy, when did this even start? Maybe 3 weeks ago? Where I was okay, well, I have problem. I need to get to the doctor. But I have, I need to get a doctor because I haven't gone to the doctor since I moved.
You mentioned that.
Yes. So I had to they told me okay, you need to contact the doctor you have before you move, which I went to twice, by the way. But and then you need them to send us your medical records so that we can make you an appointment here. Oh, that sounds super simple. I'll ask them to do that. 1 week later, after sending my request, they have not received them. I am understandably very calm, let me tell you. So they sent those in. No, they asked them to send it, and I called them. I'm like, hey, new people, have you gotten the paper? They're like, no, we're sorry, we haven't really gotten anything on there. But if you come to the office and you sign this paperwork, we can like send it from our end. It'll have more weight, and then they'll send it to us on that one. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'll come in and sign that. So we did that. And then 3 more days later, still haven't heard anything. So then finally, I called them and said, hey, medical records people from my old doctor, have you sent them yet, please? Could you please send them? I would love you to send them, please. And they're like, well, we haven't yet, but we'll set them out today, call us tomorrow to confirm. And okay, they did finally send it in. So, I swear the rest will be much more interesting than paperwork. It's just that this is the preamble of everything. Was like, I really just thought that I contact the doctor and I say, hey, I has problem. Can you check? And they'd be like, oh yeah, sure. Come in like in 3 days. So now like a week and a half later, I still haven't gotten to the doctor. And I'm like, no. So, but it's okay. I finally got the appointment on there. And I'm like, okay, so when can it be? Oh, well, we're kind of booked up full now. We can get you in next week, next Wednesday. Oh, okay. That's fine. I have an appointment. I can wait because I don't feel any like discomfort. Like I have no symptoms or anything. I'm just like, oh, there's a thing. I should see if that thing's going to kill me. It's not. It's fine. But didn't know that point. So I then proceed to wait. So then that weekend, there's a snowstorm. Well, okay, like there's like an inch of snow with like freezing rain.
Oh no!
Right? Yeah. Yes. Norway, man. I know. Not that much snow. But it's really going to preface what's happened with said snow. See, I am pushing my luck after having moved. I moved back to my rural town in Upwards, PA, and because the story spans far back enough, there was still snow. Because, but,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know you got snow yesterday. Listen, for normal American times. But yeah, so I'm pushing my luck because I'm still driving a little town car that's 2-wheel drive and not really meant for getting through snow and stuff, especially with all the hills. So it was my niece's birthday that weekend. So we went to go. Oh yeah, that was actually when. Remember the story when I was going to tell you about the restaurant if they had spaghetti? This was back then. During the spaghetti discussion. Anyway, for those of you who follow that part of the Final Fantasy interest, I'll call it. Definitely didn't derail the whole stream.
Like Final Fantasy 7 too. Like the second stream we did that.
Yes. So
where we spent half an hour talking about that.
Yes, talking about spaghetti. Yeah, so that day driving back, I had to get back up, and oh man, the 1 inch of snow. I had to spin my tires the whole way up to get it up there. And then so I got there, it was fine. But after that, my car was kind of running rougher. I'm like, oh, interesting. And I'm like, well, okay, I probably hit the mechanic. And I have to admit something to you all. I have been very naughty and pushing my luck just a little bit because, all right, here in America, every year we have to get our cars inspected and get a sticker on them.
Wait,
every year.
Every year?
Every year. Every single year we have to do this. Yes. Does that sound so frequent? It's amazing. So this was happening in February, and there's a lot happening in my life in February. Like my parents are going down for their vacation. I'm deep in the ARC server. I'm like, February is just a terrible time. What if I just wait a couple months?
Worse sentence.
Yes, kind of just ever so gently extend that out. That should be fun. I only drive my car once a week. I literally only put like 2,000 miles on my car a year at most. I don't drive that often anymore. So comeuppance is at hand. So I'm like, okay, well, my car's running rougher. I need to get my car inspected anyway. I should probably get to the mechanic and get this checked out. But then like a couple days later, and trying to get that all sorted, I'm like, I can't get my car to the mechanic yet. I need to get to the doctor. You know, like, I want to get my appointment. So, but then my check engine light comes on. And I'm like, oh no, I have to get this checked out. And then at the same point, well, not exactly. Okay, my niece, my younger niece, who is 16. I have two nieces. One is 16, one is 20. And my sister's 10 years older than I am. Don't say anything on stream you wouldn't want to read back in court of law. Okay, fair enough. But no, it's okay. The car, we'll go into that one. But,
will we?
yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna go through this whole, there's a reason this is a whole separate stream. So, what happens next? Okay, so, yes, my niece comes to me and says, Uncle Jason, I need to get a new car, or I need to get my first car. I am 16 now, this is my younger niece, and can I buy your car as my first car? My niecey, you could not have asked me at a worse time in my life for this exact question. Now, I have been speaking earlier, like just overall, like, okay, I keep saying that I should buy myself a car with all-wheel drive. I should do that. I should be able to have a car that I can trust. So I'm like, okay. So she knew that I eventually wanted to sell it. And also my other niece, back, because she's 20, but back in like quarantine, it was her turn to get her first car. But back then during quarantine, all the like used cars were bought up. You couldn't find any. You couldn't do anything like that. So she ended up buying a brand new car for like a full amount of money. And for her poor, like newly out of house brain, it was so much money. So apparently, I heard that when she was signing the check, she couldn't stop. She cried because it was just so stressful to do that. I'm like, okay, wait, no. My niece, listen. I know my car is boring. My car is dented. My car is old. My car is also like a two-wheel drive. But listen, if this becomes overwhelming, let me know. And what we can do is I can sell you my car for a bit, and then I can buy your car as that. And I'll take over all the whole huge stuff, and you just take a little bit of money and pay me for mine, that kind of thing. That way, you'll be fine, and you won't be stuck with, trying to, with the car payments. So that way, help her relax. Just, try to be good uncle. Try to be good uncle for that one there. Okay. So it's been years since then, but my other niece heard about this, and she's like, oh, well, maybe if I ask him, he'll be up for with that, and he wants to get a newer car, he'll want to sell it. And I like this plan. I love this plan. I just wish this plan was any other time in my life. So I now, with a check engine light on, and trying to get checked out for cancer, and trying to figure out if I'm gonna have like medical bills. I don't know what cancer costs. I have no idea. I'm trying to think about what I have to do to go through. I'm like, okay, I have to confirm this, but okay, I don't want to worry them, so I don't tell them that part. I'm just like, I have some personal stuff I need to sort out first, quote unquote, and I need to get the mechanic to go through too, and to get that all sorted out. I'm like, oh gosh. Okay, and then also, when the change light came on, my car sounded awful. Like it was dying. Like, absolutely dying. I'm like, oh, okay, wait, no, I gotta stop driving this. So I'm like, what do I do? I have to get to the doctor! Okay, now, a small tidbit that I mentioned earlier is that my parents are currently in Florida doing fossil hunting. And so, in doing so, my mom left her car here at the house, and it's been sitting there. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine. If I take her car to the doctor, I will be able to get there. It's fine. So I go and try it. Now they left back in the beginning of February. It is now like the middle-ish March. So it's been sitting there for a little while, hasn't really been moving, and she only just bought this car right before she left. So the battery's dead. You can see the battery is absolutely dead. And I'm like, okay, so I have to figure this out. Do they have Uber? Not up here. Not in rural back hills, yeehaw gamer. They can't find me in the cornfield. So no, I couldn't find anything. I did look though. That was an option. But I'm trying not to completely drown you guys in detail. There's a lot more to come. But but what do we do? So yeah, I'm like way outside of town and trying to do this. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? Okay, so I need to source on my own. So I will go online and I will buy a battery pack that lets you connect a little extension cord to it not an extension cord, a jumper cables to it. And then you can connect it to your car battery and then let it sit and it will slowly put juice from battery into car battery. Like, aha, that's it. Because, because this car, now stuck, is in a carport. So I can't like put my car in front of it. I can't reach it to the front and jump it. So I'm like, okay, but if I had the battery pack and just connect it directly to it, I don't need to worry about cable length or anything. Just connect it right to the battery, we're set. So I order it, I wait 2 days, throwing money at the problem, and I try to connect it. Oh, what's that?
Stop that.
No, I'm good. I'm glad to have it, because usually it's going to be okay, but we'll get to that part there. But, yeah, so that didn't work. So then I threw more money at the problem, you see. I then proceeded.
You see why I said stop that?
Oh, well, I also wanted to have this too. Like, okay, I bought 25 foot long jumper cables. Like a jumper cable long enough to reach from behind the car to my car, because I can't get mine to the front. And this just seems safe to have. It seems safe to have because this could happen. Like you can't always reach your jumper cables to the front of the car. So now I feel safer and I will carry these with me as my main jumper cables. This seems great to have. So that's the plan anyway. And so the first thing I just used them for was trying to jump the car. And I tried to jump the car. I was very safe, connected everything all together, and I let it jump for a couple minutes and revved the engine and tried to go through, and not a single light flickered in that car. Not a single light. So I get to keep the jumper cables. They're in my car now. It's fine. But that's a problem. That means that this battery is probably dead. Like, as far as I know, if you try to jump the car and there's no life in the battery, like, it's just dead. It's dead. It died. Dead. So
Dead.
Yeah. So dead. So now
Experience.
Yep. So now I'm like, I have to get to the doctor. So I have changed the car or the battery in my own car. I have done that. So I'm like, okay, I could try to do that in this car. I could just figure this out.
Hold on.
Be okay, but yes.
Let it jump for a couple minutes. Jay, do you know how jumper cables work?
Battery. Oh no, I do. So thank you, Raven. No. So when I start the engine, so you leave the car, the main car running, the working car, mine, and then you connect it to the battery, and you have it connected to the positive of the dead car, but then also like some metal on the dead car, not the negative. I didn't want to mess that part up. I remember that's scary to do. And then you leave your car running for a few minutes. You also rev the engine to make sure that my car is producing power into my battery, to make sure that there's power going from my battery to the other battery. This is all tips that I looked up online. I swear. So that's what I mean by quote unquote jumping the car. I was just making sure that current was making it from my car to that car. And I did it for a little while to make sure. My head is dying just like this battery. Oh boy, just you wait. I hope that you can see the rest of this one though. So yeah, jumping in the sense did not work. You also can use the car battery to cast lightning magic on several random people. We'll get to that. Now,
Okay. They're making a Yakuza reference, however, I'm scared.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're just gonna get into, my adventure, because I gotta get to the doctor. I just wanna know. And I still can't drive my car. And also the mechanic who I called for my poor car, who is the side part of this one, they are also busy, and they can't take me for like a week and a half. So I can't get my car fixed in time to get to the doctor anyway, to go through on that one. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll wait, that's fine. So I'm just trying to drive that as little as possible. So yes, definitely need to get my mom's car running, get that going. So I hatch a plan. Oh yeah, I hatch what I think is a really smart and safe plan. I look into it. It's still pretty smart. Okay, chat, you tell me. This is pretty smart. Listen. I went, okay, the battery had a sticker on the top of it, right? It had a sticker. And it told me the battery's part number, which meant I had the information I needed to locate and buy an exact copy of the same battery. That way that I knew that the battery was going to work and that it would fit. Like that, there was no real ambiguity of doing something wrong. So that made changing the battery in my mom's new car sound less dangerous. Because, you see, my mother, she worries. Much like I can worry. She has concerns, you see. So I can't really, like, tell her because she's down in Florida. And I just know that my dad will be more relaxed if I don't tell her that I'm currently trying to change the battery in her car. And just be fine. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, U.S. America Mother's Day is coming up in, like, actually a couple weeks. So I'm like, you know what? Buy a new battery, fix it up, and then I'll just tell her that her Mother's Day present, or part of it anyway, is me reviving her car, and she doesn't have to deal with it at all. This seems like a good plan. So I go and do that in secret. I enlist the help of a friend to drive me to where the battery is. And I go to the wrong store because a company called Advanced Auto Body and AutoZone can be really hard to confuse in your head which one is in which town. Thankfully, though, because I did look online, and one of the towns did have the battery in stock. So we go there, we get it, we're fine. We come back out, and we come to the battery. Now, okay. Now I reveal part of my setup for today as well. Oh, shwa. Okay, here we go. So. Now,
What's
see,
this, teacher Jason?
Well, unfortunately, because this is literally meant here for me to draw on, but I'm not really at a part where I'm going to be drawing anything, so we don't really need this part here yet.
Why is your chalk not white?
I hit the wrong button, you see. If I do this.
You missed the perfect opportunity of saying you can't just ask.
Oh, there you go, it's fine. Why don't you just ask this friend to drive you to the doctor? Okay, well, that's part of the problem. Because I don't want to worry anybody. So I don't want to tell anybody why I'm going to the doctor. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to take. I don't want to.
You could just have said I'm going for a checkup.
Right, but what if it took longer? Like, I didn't know the process. I didn't know the process of it.
Jay. Jay. They were busy.
Well, okay, listen. I am often a VTuber. You have any idea? Like, you haven't really seen my face as much. I am a terrible liar.
Me too.
I am terrible. They will look upon my face and they will know some shit's up. Especially because I'm going to be super nervous going in there. They're going to know. I'm just going in for a checkup.
You know, Jay, I know a more important thing, though. Look to your right and down.
If you delay figuring out if you have cancer. That's true. Now, to be fair, my idea was that if changing the battery in the car did not work, I was going to have to ask for a ride. Because no matter what, this battery thing has not at all delayed my appointment. So that's as long as I don't extend that out, then this is all okay to try. That was the thought. So that's where we're at. So I was eventually going to cave on that. So not to make it sound like I wasn't gonna go if I couldn't get that. I just really didn't want to do that. So that part's all okay. So we get the battery, we come back. Oh, what was I thinking about? Oh, yes. So I want to show you something. I am not a car guy. So this car problem will hopefully be like easy enough to explain because I'm not doing anything hopefully too complicated. But all right, so I have this here, but this is not really the one I want to show anyway. I want to show this. Oh wait, no, don't save. Aha! Okay. This is car battery. I don't know. What's this?
We're here at the battery.
Yay! I don't know what this is.
Lunar has really seen this, right?
I think. I mean, they're dropped in the chat too, but yeah, this part hasn't really been shared off too often with the stories. But there's this thing, and I'm guessing it's because the cards have more computer parts now and stuff. But usually you just disconnect this part, and then you're done. And then also down here somewhere, there's down here somewhere, there's a negative part, and then you're done. So like, I don't know. I don't want to hurt the car, so try to figure out how to remove that. But yes, what was your question?
When you told me and Lunar this short story, didn't that take like an hour?
So at this point, everything's gone to plan. At this point, everything has been going a-okay, right? Because like, because I had seen this. Okay, but actually, I'm a little out of order at the moment because I did see this panel before getting the battery to go through, and I'd already done some research. Like, well, first I went to go get the car manual, you know, the real smart owner's car manual to make that work. And there wasn't one in the car. So I'm like, ah, shit. So then, looked up on the internet. I'll try to find it on there. Find the manual, read it in PDF form. Going great. No sections on how to change the battery. At all. And I'm like, oh no, but there's all these nuts. Which one do I have to remove? What do I do? I looked and looked and looked, and all I could find was some poor lady on YouTube who found the same thing, and she's just like, all right, I'm gonna just try to remove it, and you guys watch me do it, and we're gonna figure this out together. And I'm like, all right, lady, I'm on for the ride, let's go. So she's trying different ones. She's removing this one, and then she tries different stuff. And thank you. She thought that it came down to this nut and this nut were the two that were important to remove. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I have a plan. So I have this ready to go. And now we come to the present where we have the car battery, we're driving back, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to now try to remove these. So I go to remove this one, and I torque it. And then, like, the whole thing shifts that way around this. I'm like, oh, wait, but if everything here can shift like that around this, that means that this is the only thing holding it on. So that just meant that I just had to remove this little nut right here. After all that, I did leave that lady a comment though, thanking her for giving me a starting point. But I left a feedback of my experience for those future people who found her video as well, just in case. So that's okay. We figured all that out. It was not as dangerous as I thought. But yeah.
Have you gotten any responses on that comment?
Not yet, actually. Let's go see if she liked it or not. Yeah. There's also a video from like 3 years ago, so I can understand.
What was that comment?
Oh yeah. So I'm sure like 10 years from now I'm gonna see a YouTube comment like, "Oh, thank you, you saved me." So okay, so now my mission is to remove this nut. Man, that sounds easy. Man, that sounds super easy to do. There's a problem.
Let's see if the chat can figure out. What do you guys think the problem is?
Yeah, take a guess. What's my problem? What's my problem? Like it's true. Well, it's like a nut. It's basically the same thing as these over here. It's a nut on a bolt, and therefore I need a specific tool. And oh yeah, also this is an Italian. This is a Fiat. This is a Fiat 500X 2016. Lack of proper tool? Oh, what a great guess that is. What a great guess. Love that guess. Let's go with that.
Hey,
all right, so,
hey,
yeah.
Is that Italian part very important?
Well, the Italian, mostly it's because their design was very compact. There's not a lot of room. So no.
No, I think you're going to call it.
Oh, and the metric. Yes. That will also play a factor later. A little bit. But it's okay. So, I wanted to remove these nuts. But also, yeah, you can see there's not exactly a lot of room here for turning stuff. Because I had one of those, like, adjustable wrenches that have, like... Oh, wait, let's see if I go, like... And then can I do... Like that. And then... okay. So, you got, like, the wrench. Oh, no. I see when you do that, it changes your ink back. There we go.
Yeah, exit, I think it's the shortcut for swapping or something.
Okay. So you have that, and there's like a little like coil system here. Like you turn this, and then you can adjust this open and closed like that. I had access to that tool. Oh yeah, because
That's a very nice tool.
yeah, but it's too big. It's too big. I can't grip the thing. Adjustable wrench. Yes, it could have, but I needed a very specific, small, little claw wrench that's the exact size of what they wanted. But the problem is, I couldn't remember the combination to my dad's shed where all the other tools are. So.
And as Jay is.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ask him?
I did not want to worry them about me going into
Exactly!
I think I can figure it out first. Okay, listen. I didn't want them to worry about what I was doing and then come home early before I could figure out the cancer thing.
Jay,
Because I overcomplicated.
Jay,
I know.
Jay,
I know.
You could have just said, hey, I'm gonna check something with my car battery, and to remove it, I need this bolt removed. I forgot the code for your garage. What is it?
Oh, I could have said my car. I didn't even think about that. I was just trying to keep that to myself. Keep trying to go through on there. Okay, all right. Pause in the tight bolt story. You want to know how bad I am with this? You want to know how bad I am? So,
you're hearing it now.
this very morning that I'm trying to go and do this battery thing, I get a text from my mom. She says, "Oh, I hope things are going well from you. Thinking of you. Hope nothing's like bothering you too much." I'm like, I'm about to change the battery in her car. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait to respond to her till tomorrow. My phone screen glitches and calls her. Calls my mom. It's like the worst possible thing your phone can do. Calls her on there. And I'm like, no! And then I hear her pick up, and I freeze. I don't do I don't say anything. Cause like, I'm also like, I just woke up. My brain's not working. I don't know what to say. How do I avoid the subject of her asking about her car? Cause I'm like, So I just start rubbing my phone on the blanket because I'm still in bed, pretending that my phone's in my pocket and I dialed her. Because I make everything so complicated.
Hey, Jay.
It's my fault, I know. Yes.
Hey, Jay.
Yes.
You could also just pretended to butt hang up as well.
I don't think she'd believe it.
Okay, that's more fair.
Yeah, but anyway, I got up, had a shower, called her back later. I told her the story of my car, and my niece wanted to buy my car. We had a lovely conversation after. It's fine. I just very delicately danced around the subject of her car. Anyway, so yeah. So I am now in the position of trying to figure out how to do this without having the combination of my dad's shed. But yes.
Dragoni also has the greatest suggestion.
Cancel the call and text her. Whoops, wrong button. Well, she would want me to reply. Listen, I had just woken up and I was tired and I panicked. We figured it out. It's fine. So yeah, you can see a lot of the story is going to be self-inflicted.
I'll call you after a shower.
I was surprised. Like, I wasn't waiting for my phone just to dial itself to my mother. It tried to rat me out, the little bastard. But anyway. So, okay. Yeah, so that's all going through. So yeah, I'm trying to do this now without having the proper tools for this one. So I go a scouring to try to find something to turn this little nut with, because it's such a small thing. And, so I end up, okay. How many people here have bought furniture from the internet that came in and you had to assemble it? Anybody? Anybody here? And you know how they come with like really basic, cheaply made tools? Flat pack.
You mean like, for example, an IKEA?
Yeah, that kind of thing. So basically,
you don't need internet for that.
That's true. Okay, purchase some kind of like desk, and then you have to like assemble it. So you get that one. So
Yeah,
I
like my
happen to
chair.
find. Oh yeah.
Like my chair.
Oh, yeah, like your chair, like that one there. So, so basically, I found in my stash a little tiny, double-ended, like that, and then that, and a little tiny claw. Oops, that's terrible. Until I am not an artist. That one down here at the bottom. So it has a little tiny claw at the bottom of it for that one. And this is my savior. It doesn't quite look like that, but I'm doing my best. So I grab it and I'm like, oh wait, maybe, just maybe, this one wrench with 2 possible sizes out of like 10 options, maybe it'll happen to fit that nut in that car. And it does! It does! And it's phenomenal. Oh, I'm so excited for that one. However, okay, let me try to go back over now to here. And that, okay. So now we're back and we're trying to change this one. So it does fit it. The small size fits it. I'm like, oh, we're fine. Everything's good. And so I go to my friend offers to do the take it off for me. And I go and try to put all the other tools, like the little adjustable wrenches, back to where they were. And while they were working, my friend's hand slips and the tool drops in this little tiny gap right down here that you can barely fit your fingers between. I'm like, wait, no, the savior, no, bring it back. So now it's down underneath here, and so I basically, wait, can I give myself some more room? Oh, I think I can. Okay, here we go. So I do the really smart thing. All right. I have one of these, a stick that I duct tape a wire onto to try to dig it out. And who can possibly guess that would happen? Like, you know, you try to go into the tight space and very delicately dig out the thing that you want. How many times have you noticed that maybe you end up pushing it deeper in and making it harder to reach? And it eventually falls completely under the battery that I have to remove with the tool that is now under the battery. So, what happens next is that my friend goes and tries to take my fancy tool up there and tries to dig out the thing. Well, I try to look for other options. Like maybe there's something else we can use to get this car battery off because we're getting this done today. That I have the right. We're going to get this done today. I need to get to the doctor. But yeah, it's been a whole thing. And just you wait. It keeps going. Now, but by some miracle, I you know what? This entire time that I thought, okay, I never remember the combination of my dad's shed. I always remember there's one combination that's not right, and I can never remember the right one. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just try the one that I think is wrong? Just to make sure. Door opens, and we have all the tools now! Yay! But now the wrench is in there. And I'm like, oh man, even if we got there, but even if I get the car running, now there's a wrench inside, and are you okay to drive your car with a wrench like that? Like, it could just, rattle out and drop out if I drive around slowly enough. It probably could fall out pretty hard. I don't know, though, but this is a brand new car, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, mother. I stabbed your engine with a wrench. I didn't want that to happen. But like, okay, we will worry about that problem later. Maybe if I remove the battery, we can get to the wrench and we'll be okay. Oh, so now we have access to the full fancy, actual regular C wrenches that I needed to fit that perfectly. And it was just a matter of figuring out what size is it. And yeah, and as you know, yeah, there are 2 sizes of these wrenches. And there are metric and standard. I'm like, okay. So we gotta figure out which one's going on there, get the right one for it. And we do find out that one is 11 millimeters in standard. And I have barely, I can move it. Oh, that's the wrong color. I can barely move it and turn the wrench that far. Oh, that's the wrong screen in there. If I do this one. Okay, but I haven't changed it. Well, no, I just did. How dare you? Oh, there we go. So I can turn it that far. That's it. So it's basically like a little flick of the wrist. So I had to turn it a little bit, take it off, turn it a little bit, take it off. But eventually, I do get it off. Whole thing comes off. We're fine. We're fine. We have positive off. It's great. And then I remove negative. Yes. And then it's good. The battery is not loose. It's not loose because there's a strap holding the battery down that I've never seen before. So now we go to the second picture. Un momento. Oh yeah, the image here. There we go. Drag that in there. No, don't save this one. We're good. All right. Now we've moved over a little bit to the left, and my target is. I'm gonna try to turn it back to black. And there's little boyo right down there. Little tiny nut. And boy, you really can't see it, but really it helps you get to the perspective of what I had to do. Because I had to remove that to let the strap go to get the battery out. But I can't figure out what size it is until I touch it. But how do you reach that far down to get to it? So, I think I will again.
Oh no.
So, at this point, thankfully, I now have access, because this is like a full-on nut, but I can turn it, so I get a standard, like, what you think of as a mechanic's wrench. A socket wrench that makes like the cool like clicking noise as you like turn it back. So it's shing, or no, you turn it, and then turn it, and then it goes back that way. That whole thing. I got one of those, all ready to go. I just have to make it reach down there. Now, thankfully, you have your, make it gray for cool tool accuracy. You have the wrench. There's a whole little handle on it that way, and then it has the little thing on it. But the nut's like way the fuck down here, like that. So I gotta reach it. Now, thankfully, these sets do come with an extender. So if I add one, it goes all the way like that, and then I add this to the end of it. However, nut still down there. It's the problem. So I have to look and find a second set that has a second extender to add another extender here. And then have the socket, which finally reaches the nut. But oh my god! Because it's all held together. So now this thing is it's not sturdy. It doesn't feel sturdy. Like it has little like sockets in it to attach to each other, little like a ball joint to hold it in there, something. But I don't want to drop. I don't want to drop anything else in the engine. But I do get it to go through. And now my job is to attach different sockets to the end to figure out very unstable. Figure out what size it is. So I try everyone. Now I assume, in my wisdom, that if the other nuts is in metric, that this one should be in metric. So I'm trying all the metric ones. I tried every metric size in the set. None of them even like got tight at all on it. I'm like, wait, I tried ones that were way smaller than it. How in the world have I not gotten a grip on this, on the nut? We're using tool terms, on the nut. And eventually I realized you cannot tell. You cannot tell from the look of this thing over here. But okay, if this is the nut, this is the bolt that was sticking out of it. And none of the sockets could get deep enough over it to make contact with the nut. And I was like, wait, no! How did they get this on? Because the nut itself is very small, and apparently the smaller the nut, the shorter they make it, because they don't usually have a long bolt that it's on. So I'm like, all right, I have access to my full set of father tools. Maybe he has a set that has just a taller socket that I can put on my contraption. Mrah. And I find one, and they're all nice and big and tall. I'm like, oh, okay, this is probably made for this exact situation. And it has almost all of them. There's just one that's missing. Can you guess which one? Can you guess which one is missing?
The one you didn't need.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. Not the one that I needed. So, my poor friend at this point, who's watching me do this, It's like, okay, you know what? My parents live 15 minutes away from you. Why don't we call him and see if he has one that'll fit? And we call him over there, and unfortunately, he does not have metric. But yes?
This is also where you wanted to like show up during the Monster Hunter finale stream, wasn't this?
Yeah! Yeah! Because I
Can you
thought...
understand now why he didn't show up?
I thought this would take like 2 hours. I was gonna be done so many hours before that finale stream. I thought I was gonna be all ready, good to go, and be like, all right, I can say hi and everything. I'm like, okay, this is taking longer. I'll be there at some point for it. We are in like hour 4 or 5 at this point.
Yeah, this was also the stream or the day that Wonder was delayed yet again.
Yeah, because thankfully Luna was also sick, so I wasn't the only one that caused the problem. But oh boy, that's the whole thing. But yes,
Hey Jay, look at it this way.
Sure.
Your car problems made me Norway's best.
You're fucking welcome.
Thank you. Oh, I showed Jay the clip of me getting sniped.
Oh yeah, that's a short. That's coming up in a couple days, I think. Anyway, so the dad comes. The father, he comes with what he thinks is the right size. I gave him some estimations. I got like the other claws. I couldn't like take one of the claw hammer, or not claw hammer, the claw wrenches. I can't turn it with it, but I can at least have them touch the nut to see if it's a snug fit. That way I'll know if he brings a socket of that size, we'll bring the right one. So it'll be fine. But he doesn't have metric. He only has standard. And thankfully, what it looked like was that this nut was a 13 millimeter. And by pure math coincidence, 13 millimeter is basically the same size as a 1/2 inch socket. I swear that's the most technical I'm gonna get talking about car parts. Because I don't know shit. But anyway, so he's like, okay, I will bring the 1/2 nut and we will see if we can turn it with that. And I was like, okay, that seems fine. I was testing it with the 1/2 C wrench or claw wrench on there. That seemed okay. It was going to work. And because I really, if we strip, like if we tear away the sides of that nut, it's stuck. I have caused a huge problem. So I really have to be careful not to torque this and break it. But thankfully he goes there, and thankfully this dad, he works on their cars all the time. He was very confident that he was, and now also thankfully I have somebody here with like knowledge about this, so that way I could ask for advice on there. Now, thankfully, up to this point, I haven't done anything particularly wrong, just in a wrong way. Well, anyway, it caused myself a lot of extra headaches, as you can see.
What?
Nah, it's fine. But what happened next? Oh yeah, so we get it off, and we so delicately pull that nut out of that engine so that we don't drop it. Because if we lose that nut, I'll want to die.
It's dead.
No. Oh yeah, the whole plan is dead. Because I don't even know how to like find one that would fit to go back on there. And like, would it hold? I don't know. I just really wanted to not have that kind of problem to happen for us. Oh, so we get that off, get the strap off, we get the battery out there, we remove the battery in there, finally we've made some headway, and unfortunately in doing so, learned that there's a shelf the battery sits on, and underneath the shelf is a gap, and it's into that gap that the savior wrench fell into. I cannot see it. So that's the problem for later, but we're fine. We're gonna continue. So we put in the new battery into the car over there, put it on there, connect it, get it all good. And I connect the positive really easily with the wrench, just really slowly because of the tight space. And then I connect the negative. And I'm like, but at this point, I start thinking. Because
Why?
Why
are you doing this?
I'm not a car guy. Like, I'm just assuming the battery's dead. Like, I'm just assuming that's the problem. I mean, it made sense. Like, lights aren't coming on in the car. It's gotta be the battery, right? So I'm just trying to express, I'm nervous. Like, what if I learn right now that the car doesn't live at all? After all this, here at like hour 6 or so. Thankfully, I am told very thoroughly that we've revived the car because the car alarm starts going off. Now, that was so... I haven't mentioned the part that this car, in the carport, is snugly parked underneath a pickup truck cap. Like you can put... Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. So there's like a pickup truck bed that, okay, my dad turned it into like a little bed thing you can put in the back of his truck to go to Yellowstone, and then he puts a bed in the back so he can sleep. It's like a little cabin he can put in the back of his car, and it's hoisted up on straps hanging from the ceiling of the carport, and this car is just underneath it. The whole thing with that really is just that because that's hanging over the hood, the way this is parked, I can't fully open the hood. I have it precariously held open by a little slab of like a 2x4. Hold up that way. So this entire time, I have been trying not to bump said wood and drop the hood on either me or my friend's hands or head. So now, we have all been startled by a car alarm. Thankfully, did not bump the wood. We're fine. But that did make this entire thing, including with the precarious tool up there, very scary. Because I tried to make it so that, like, apparently you can force a car that's dead into neutral with like a switch if it's automatic. There's a switch. Guess what? That switch is not exposed on my mom's car. I have to remove the plastic casing around the shifter to get to the release for the thing to put it in neutral. And I'm like, no, I'm not removing that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't even know what tool I would need to release that. No, I'm just gonna work in the tight space. Again, causing myself more problems, as you can see, but it's okay. Anyway, so now, car lives! Yay! Car alarm's going off! No! Because now it's like 8 or 9 at night, and I'm like, oh god, my poor neighbors, no! So I'm like, okay, well now, here comes a very important detail about my mother's car that I have not mentioned yet. It's a keyless car. It's a keyless car. You don't use a key to start the car. You have like your usual, like, you know, the fob you put on the car key, and you can lock the car, unlock the car, but you just have that. There is no key. And you just have that on your person, and it has a battery inside of the fob to output a signal. And if the car detects that the fob is near it, like if within 5 feet of the button, you just push a button and the car starts. But I'm like, okay, but what with all this do I do to turn off the alarm? Because like I know, like in my car, like this actually happened to me when I changed my battery. My car alarm went off. Like, okay, that seems familiar. In mine, you put the key in the door, you turned it to unlock twice, and it shut up. I had to Google that, but I figured it out. But I'm like, there's no key. There is no key. What do I do? And I'm in there trying different buttons on there, and I only succeeded in making it beep faster. I don't know what I did. It went from beep, beep, beep to beep, 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 beep. Now stop, please. So eventually, I can do nothing. I can even start the car right now, and the car alarm still goes off. I'm like, wait, but I showed you I can start you. Why don't you trust me? I am here with the proper fob. Please stop beeping. Oh, so I just have to disconnect the negative. I'm like, okay, I'm just, this is a tomorrow problem. This is tomorrow. We're fine. We're going to deal with it tomorrow. Oh, so we get everything ready to go. My dad's, or no, not my friend's dad was just like, I think you got this from now. I think the car's running. You can figure out the things with the car. Good luck. It's in like the battery's installed snugly. I think you're good to go once you get that. I'm like, oh, thank you. Okay, cool. So they're packing it up, and then my friend, who at this point has felt really bad, and I was very sure in all of my secret cancer stress not to get at all upset with my friend dropping that wrench. Because no way. They have done so much work to help me with this. It's not fair to them. Like, I could have dropped the wrench. My friend's a vet. Like, she works with tools all the time with, like, you know, delicate scalpel stuff. Like, she probably had less of a chance of dropping it. You forgot about, yeah. So everything, I'm just trying to get to the doctor. But, so that's the driving force behind my insanity, as you're hearing about right now. So I want to be very clear, but she felt horrible. So she took my fancy stick with the duct tape and the wire and was digging for it. And so she had the idea to look on the other side of the battery, which actually on this side, near where the nut. to see if maybe the wrench had gone under so far that maybe it started poking out on the other side. And it did. And it did. So she takes that and she very delicately like pokes at it, tries to go through and try to pull the whole thing out. And she gets the hook on it, and I'm just watching, holding my breath, like please, 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 please. And she is able to latch onto it, pull it out, and it falls. And because we had to make it, we couldn't grab it. They had to let it fall, and hope that it fell through the engine fast enough. I shouldn't stop putting my hands in front of my face. I'm like you can see my hands right now. Anyway. So we just had to hope, though, that when it dropped, it didn't catch on anything on the way down, that it would, like, pachinko machine its way down out of the engine. Thank God it did. And I will never forget the sound of that thing slapping against the mud. And they're like, yes, it's out. I can drive the car if I can stop the car alarm. But that's tomorrow. All right. We've been streaming for an hour.
Uh-huh.
We have now reached the end of day 1 of this story. Prepare yourselves! No, thankfully, I think through all this, day 1 is the most dense day of all this. So this was Sunday. Yeah, this was the Sunday that was the Monster Hunter stream. So I had to go to work the next day. I'm gonna go through.
Take a sip.
Oh yeah, you know what? Fair. Thank you, Hilda. Thank you.
Where's my sips?
I'll do another one.
Where's my sips? Oh, my sips.
Okay.
Between my legs.
Day 2's mission was really simple. Like, I was just gonna use my lunch hour at my job to go through and turn off the car app. Turn off the car alarm. And so I had an idea, really smart idea to try to do it. So I decided that my mom just bought that car before she left. I'll call the place she bought it from, who also, ironically, is the mechanic I'm taking my car to. So I'm like, hey. So I'm like, please, I'm unsure. Actually, I think I'm at the part now where I think I can do, go back to this. There we go. Yes. Okay. So I call the mechanic and I tell them the problem. I'm like, oh, did you hit the unlock button on the fob to stop it from beeping? I'm like, that's the first thing I did, and it didn't stop it. So they were stumped. So I then proceeded to call the place I bought the battery from. And that they also were stumped. Because they're like, oh, well, why don't you try like hitting the lock button twice and the unlock button twice? I think that helps in some cases. Okay, thank you. I will do that. So I'm writing down tips that they have, even though they don't know what the exact problem is. So eventually I call a Fiat dealership, like the people who work on the cars, to do this. And I'm like, okay. So, but I had to call like 3 dealers to get someone to pick up. And then, so I've called somebody and asked them the question. He's like, ooh, I don't know. Let me go ask the other guys in the shop, see if they know. And he puts me on hold. I detected when he put me on hold, there was a brief ring before the music started. And I'm like, uh-oh, why did the phone ring there for a sec? And then somebody picks up the phone and they go, Marisha? And I'm like, no, I'm not Marisha. I was just talking to the guy in the mechanic shop about my car alarm. Can I go back? And thankfully they do send me back. And I get there just before the guy picks up again. He never knew I was gone. But oh my God. If I had lost it, I would have lost my mind. Anyway. So I stumped 5 people in the mechanic shop. All because there's no way I should be able to start the car and not have the alarm stop. I'm like, no, I swear I started the car and the car kept going off. So I didn't have a lot of confidence if I stumped, the car alarm or the Fiat dealership people, but like, okay, well, I have my list of tips, the things they want me to try. Like they thought maybe there would be like, there's a fuse box in the car. And then if you pull the fuse out of the car, then you can stop certain parts. Instead of turning off the entire car, you can just do that. And if there's a fuse specific to the car alarm, I can just turn that off. And like, first of all, you can unplug it and plug it back in and try to reset it, turn it off, turn it back on again. And if that doesn't work, I can also at least pull it out so that the car alarm stops going off so I can drive it somewhere to get help. Because at this point, if I drive it down the road, I will be a parade vehicle. Just trying to Like people probably pull out thinking on some kind of like emergency vehicle to go through. So trying to figure that part out. So I don't have one though. I don't have a fuse for the car alarm. There are so many fuses in there. But what I do find, after doing some research, I find there is one that's specific just to the horn. I'm like, okay. So I can't stop the whole car alarm system, but I can at least stop the noise. And I'm like, okay, that works. Because every time I connected to try things on these tips, the car alarm's just blaring in my neighborhood. And I'm so embarrassed I can't think straight while it's going through. And I'm like, you know what? I would just love the chance to think. I don't know if any of you have ever had the pleasure or know what a fuse in a car looks like. Man, it was actually a lot like dealing with a Game Boy Advance, like a cartridge. That's like the best thing I could think of. Well, maybe more like a DS size. So it's like putting a cartridge. So that's what it was. But I had to take a pair of pliers and put it in, and then put them on the fuse that I want and pull it out. And they're snug in there, so I have to pull it out on there. But then, like, not drop it. I don't want to drop the fuse into the box. So that's all going in. That's all phenomenal. But there's only one extra problem to where it's going. And I'm going to go back over here now. And we're going to go back. Hi. And we're just going to put this in there. And then don't save. Okay. Okay, go back to white, by the way. Okay. There is a fuse box. And unfortunately, in a lot of cars, the fuse box is often inside the driver's area. Inside the car, like under the steering wheel, some convenient spot like that. not this car. Nah. In fact, this is the bastard that was snug up against the freaking battery that I couldn't get my wrench out of, my savior. So it goes in there. Let's just say like there's a fancy grid of such good lines. Grid of fuses. Every one of these cells in here is a different fuse that I can pull. Can anyone guess where this fuse is? Because there's also like a lip around it. So like around the outside, so it's really tight around here. It is it's right here in the corner. Like there's all this open space here that you have more hand room. No, not bottom. You know what? Bottom right would have been worse because I had to reach down. It wasn't the top, so I'll give it that point. But it was up here, but I had to really delicately get my hand. I used both hands for it. Grab this little fuse and then detach the little cartridge and pull it out. And then I proceeded to put that fuse in my hand, walk inside, grab a bowl, and put it in the bowl. Like a computer building tip so that you don't lose the tiny screws. So I'm like, nah, I'm not. This fuse, boom, there. I know where it is. I'm not losing that fuse. Because I then had to think about putting this thing back in later. Taking it out was so much easier because you just yank it. Aha, it's out. Now, then I have to delicately put it back in. But we'll get to that point.
Will we?
Anyway. Huh?
Will we?
I think so. But, so, now we're back and trying to do all this stuff. I can now connect the neutral part of the battery, and now only the hazards click a little bit. There's no horn blaring. I have, for the first time in this entire endeavor, serenity, the ability to think through. And I'm like, oh man, none of these tips are working. I'm trying different stuff, locking the car, and nothing's stopping it. So I just start scouring the freaking, the manual for anything, any kind of a tip. And eventually I do find a section about what to do if the battery in your fob dies, because it has that battery in it to put out the signal to put it in there. And apparently there's a little chip in the tip of the fob. And if you touch that tip of the fob to the button, then you can start the car even if your battery is dead, which is nice because that means that your fob doesn't control your entire car, thankfully. So that's nice. So but it didn't mention anything about the alarm, but I'm like, hey, you know what? That sounds like a slightly different way to turn on the car. Maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll stop the alarm. So I take that one and I touch the fob to the button and I tap it and the car starts. And for the first time this entire time, the hazard stopped blinking. I'm a genius. And then I stopped the car. And the hazard started up again! Like, no, wait, please. But, I started the car again, and they went off again. So now, there's a difference. I don't know what, I don't know why, but what? But why are they still going off when the car is off? So I'm sitting there, and I'm trying different stuff on it, and I'm like, okay, now the car is off and they're blinking. Why don't I try more buttons in the fob? And so I tried the lock, the unlock, neither work, and I finally again hit the panic button. You know, the button meant to start the car alarm.
Mm-hmm.
The hazards go silent completely. I start the car, no blinky. I turn off the car, no blinky. But I can't describe to you why it took me touching the fob to the button and then hitting panic to stop it. Well, okay. I have right now. I have a theory. I am not the car man, so take this with grains of salt. Take this with you know that story about like the guy who's like, you can pay me by doubling the amount of rice in every square on this checkerboard. That thing. So take this with like the final square grains of rice on that checkerboard. I don't know much about cars. So, I mentioned in the beginning that at some point I made the car beep faster. Every time that I disconnected and reconnected the battery, it still kept beeping faster that entire time. So I think what happened when I was trying different buttons in the fob originally, I hit the panic button. I think that turned on panic mode, I'll call it. And that's why I was blinking faster. And I think with panic mode being on, that is why it kept beeping when the car alarm or the car was started. Because that like panic mode was different somehow, I don't know. And then somehow this car, even when disconnected from the battery for like 8 hours, still remember that panic mode was on later the next day. And it wasn't until I did the key fob touch to stop it from blinking when the car was on, and that's why I could finally touch it at the end to turn off panic mode. That's my best guess. I don't know. I'm gonna remember that in case we ever get into this position again, and I'll just find out then.
You have a video proof now.
True. I can go back to like, okay, what did I say that I did? So, yay, see, this video has a point. I have you guys here for an hour and 10 minutes for a reason. Oh. Okay, so that means that now, because of that, I have such a rush of relief because again, we return to the subject of me trying to figure out if I have cancer to go through. It's like, okay, I can now go to the doctor. Oh, that part's fine. And wait, what was it now? Oh, actually, wait, I have it wrong. The day before, I think I said earlier that I needed to take my car to the mechanic after the doctor visit. I'm wrong. It was the day before that I needed to do that. So my next mission actually is to get my car to the mechanic. And now we get into a pretty embarrassing part of the story. So, during the festivities, because I mentioned to my mom during that panic phone call in the morning about my car trouble and getting it to the mechanic and all that. And my dad texted me and goes, hey, son of mine, sonny oh boy, have you checked the oil in your car? I had. Now this is funny because if you remember my first car story, I killed my car not understanding that you had to change the oil in the car. Specifically because my old Subaru, like 99 Subaru Forester, burned the oil. So I would check it and the oil level would go down. I just kept adding more oil into the car on top of what was in there, thinking that, oh, the oil's going away. Just keep putting more in there. When we went to change the oil, there was so much metal shavings in that oil in there. It was like thicker than chocolate syrup out of that. So the running joke is that, I'm not good at changing oil in car. So my dad, hearing this happen, is like, son, did you change the oil in your car? No. No, I hadn't checked that yet. Now, in my defense, when I get my car in the yearly inspection, I asked them at that point to change the oil in my car. I only drive my car 2,000 miles a year. So that puts me ahead, really. You're supposed to change the oil in your car like every 5 to 10,000 miles. So I'm changing it technically every 2,000 miles because I don't drive that much throughout the year. So I thought I was doing okay. Like that's actually why I didn't think about the oil. But I think I made some kind of misunderstanding. I got in my car, and so they give us after they change the oil, a sticker in the car saying, okay, I changed your oil, here's your odometer. You either want to change it this new odometer reading, or you want to change it this date. That kind of thing. An estimation of when you should do this again. And I looked at that sticker, the last one that got changed, and then, honey?
Honey?
Your head is yellow.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, you look good.
Weird, right?
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
Happy for you. So I look at it. I thought changing it too often was bad. Also bad. What is it? I'll look into that. Thank you for bringing that up. I would hope not. But so yeah, dealing with all that. I'm trying to think. So so I'm looking at the sticker. And so it tells me the last time it told me that I should change my oil. And I see on the sticker, the date is in 2020. I'm like, that's not right. I told them to change my oil and that. When was the last time I changed the oil in my car? I don't know how this happened. Like maybe I was wrong and that maybe they just didn't change the sticker. But evidence in my car was telling me that perhaps in 4 years, my oil hadn't been changed. Now, thankfully, even in 4 years, I would have driven at most 2,000 times 4, 8,000 miles. So kind of rough, but not nearly the hell I put through that first car through. I did not change the oil in that first car for upwards of 4 years and then driving it like a normal person. So that was like murder for the car. This one drove like a baby. I get groceries once a week. Like I barely drive at all. So it's great. It's fine. But then I checked the dipstick out in the car to see how the oil level was. Yeah, better stickers, exactly. But when I look at the level of the oil my car reads out to me, the dipstick shows a very, very small amount of oil on there. I'm like, oh no! So I then promptly, thankfully, now with the power of my mother's working mobile, drive to Walmart and get 3 quarts of oil and just dump it into the car before I drive it to the mechanic the next day so that now it can be safe to drive, even though that's going to get changed out of my car the next day. But that was just an investment in my car's future. Yes, feed the poor thing, yes. So we did do that, and man, car sounded a lot better after that.
Weird.
It was crazy. So so we did that. That went great. And yeah, so then it was just a matter of turning on the car, sounded better. The check engine light did not go off. So okay, that's kind of concerning, but we'll see about that. But now we get to points of I couldn't secure a ride back from the mechanic. So I'm like, okay, all right. I think what I'll do is put my bike in the back. Oh no, well, okay, I don't have a bike. Boy, okay, I need to skim this long other story. I mean, I think you might have heard, like, over the years, I've hurt my knee, and I've been doing a lot of work to recover my knee. And, I'm actually making a lot of progress, like carrying dumbbells up a hill, like really doing my own physical therapy on my knee. But I've always been cautious about biking again, because that's very knee intensive. It's very needy, if you will. So, I'm like, okay, you know what? I really just feel like my knee's feeling great. I will try this bike ride back from the mechanic and just go real slow. So I had to do it on a work day. So I just literally told my work I might take a while to get back, saying there's a lot of hills, but more like in a way that I could stop and take breaks on the way back. So I really got to baby my knee to make sure that I didn't, undo all my progress, because that would suck through all that. But yes, there we go. So that's my plan now, and I'm hoping that this will work out great. And so the only bike now, though, because I don't have a bike anymore because mine got stolen. That's a whole other story. We'll worry about that one later. So my dad has a bike hanging from the roof of the shed that he just has up there for emergencies to have. He's not much of a biker. He also ironically hurt his knee doing what? Horseback racing, but it's the kind of race where there's a barrel. You have to run the horse around the barrel, then back again. But like at one point he cut it too short and his knee bashed against the barrel. I'm sorry. I'm going into a whole different tangent. Let me come back. Sorry. Yeah. So, Dad's barely used rusty bike. Barrel racing. Oh, yeah, that. We heard his knee barrel racing, so he can't really bike too often. So his bike is very rusty, is the detail I'm trying to express, is what I want. So, I take it down off the ceiling, and boy, I use a lot of oil on that poor bike. I really... Much TW40, because America! And so dump that on there. And I do get it in a pretty good working order. And then I take a lot of stuff out of my car. The jumper cables, which take up a lot more room for how long they are. The jumper cables, the like an emergency car kit, all that stuff. And I put it in the shed under there where the bike was. And I'm like, okay, load the bike up in there. I drive to the mechanic and tell him to drop it off on there. I even also asked him while I was there, like, hey, when you're looking at it, can you kind of give me an estimation of what you think that you would take this car as a trade-off? I don't want to sell this car to you. I want to sell it to my niece because I don't know what to ask. That's still part of this whole plan too. I have to figure out how to sell this car to my niece. If it's fixable, like I hope I haven't killed this car with my no oilage. We'll get to that part. But anyway, so drop that off. Oh yes, but then I bike back, and you know what? My knee does fantastic. I was so excited. I got to bike all the way back, and I didn't have to stop for a break once. I kept the gears low, so I wasn't really hoofing it up a hill or anything. But like my legs were strong and hey, hi. That one was extra gooey. So and that was just such a cool moment in all this entire story and frustrations and cancer scares. Is that I have finally, over the course of like probably 3 or 4 years I've been nursing this knee, have finally felt like it's like strong again. So I'm like, oh, that's great. All right. So dang. I'm thinking like later, because of this, I'm going to buy myself a bike. We'll get to that later. Now.
Oh, no.
Oh, we'll get to that later.
Why?
There's more that you have not heard. So
why?
There's a reason we started early. So.
Okay. God damn it.
So I get back on there and I bike back on there. That's great. That's great. So I put the bike in the shed on there. I don't hang it back up or anything. Go up on there. Oh boy, man. Oh boy. There's so much. There's something just from 2 hours ago. But we'll get there.
You decided to make the stream before 2 hours ago.
What's that?
You decided to make the stream before 2 hours ago.
Yep. This is a whole new thing. It's a small mini thing. It's just for funny. It's funny icing on the shit cake. But we'll get to that part.
Don't say that.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be fine. Okay. So what happened? So I have now gotten my car to the mechanic. I have biked home. I've had this great biking experience. That's great. Stop moving my hands.
Never.
Basically. Well, you have no idea how much I actually move my hands during every stream. Basically a conductor.
Oh no, I also do that every now and then. So like, oh yeah, about that, and I'm just covering my face or entire hand.
Yes. Oh, okay. So yes, now I've moved back. I have my car. In the mechanic. I now have my mom's car, which can drive. That's fine. So we come to the next day. The next day is my first visit to the doctor. I have finally made it to my appointment, and the car works nigh 2 days before I had to drive to the mechanic. But we're fine. I wasn't stressed at all.
They lied as naturally as he lied.
Boy, it was a lot. But we went through. And I got to the doctor, and I explained the predicament. We got it all squared away, and I described where the problem area was. And he said, like, okay, well, what you have is a common place to have benign cysts, he called them. I'm like, oh, okay.
Jay, no. Did
yes.
you have the same thing I had?
Maybe. So I'm like, oh, okay. So that means immediately from this doctor visit, I have gotten news that most likely I am fine. However, we wanted to be sure. He said, okay, I will now schedule you an appointment to go to the hospital.
Kill.
Wait, but the cheap viewers though.
Kill them! Kill them all! We only want the high
Take it out!
viewers. Hold on, I'm opening OBS.
Yeah, but so he's already gone. What was I gonna say though? Yeah, so thankfully that's helpful. But I didn't get a final answer. So I'm like, well, it was nice to leave that doctor's office with that on there, but it was still kind of there because we weren't sure, and it could still be a problem. And I had to wait a week. I had to wait till this Wednesday. Yes, we're nearing current actually. It was this Wednesday I finally went to the hospital to get a scan to find out what that was. So I'm like, okay, well, so I go home and I wait that out, and I survived the weekend to go through. That's when we did like the Beat Saber stream. The Beat Saber stream that I set up, and the power went out.
Hey, Jay, look at it positively.
Sure.
Your power going out during the Beat Saber stream helped me become normal.
I'm so happy for you! Like, I am super glad we got through a little bit of every game. And plus, also, I could feel during that stream that the stress that I was under was kind of affecting me during that stream. I was really rushing through everything and going through. So in a way, I think it cut me off when I needed to get cut off. I think that worked out well.
Yeah, no, Jay.
But yeah.
Like, I don't know if I want to like try and get a new record in the Fruit Ninja. Everyone was like, why?
Well, I didn't want to make people wait for Beat Saber, but I was a little out of my mind for that one. Zap's got state power so he can have more time to train. It was you! You hired the squirrels!
No, I didn't hire the squirrels. I hired the beavers.
Oh, yes, you're right, because that was the power system, not the internet.
The beavers were just the middleman, though. They called the bird.
Oh, the bird! Oh my god, are we at bird time? I think we're at bird time. Oh, shit. Are we? Is there anything else before the bird? Oh, god. Oh, that's so exciting. I love this part of the story. Okay. Let me think. No, I think that's where we are because, yeah, we're gonna roll back. I'm sorry. I told you that we've escaped day one. We are briefly
returning,
going back to day one. So give me a moment real quick because this is gonna require some visual aids here on there. So do that and do this. Okay, good. Now, last year there was a problem because I live in the upper part of a house, and I live in the upper part of a house, and there was this bird that built a nest. I had like a sap seagull problem to a much smaller degree. I would never want to live with seagulls. I would want to die. But this bird would cause a lot of noise. But yeah?
Want to know something fun?
Oh no.
The seagulls are back.
Oh no. Have they gotten in your house yet?
Geese.
Oh, and geese?
And geese. They have not gotten to my house, and all of our neighbors are of the same mindset of never let them to the house.
Okay, that's good. I don't keep just in peace around there. Did this literal bird give you the figurative finger? Just you hold on to that. Now, okay. So I'm like, oh boy. So it was a problem because I was trying to record things and stuff, and the bird would make noise. I had to re-record lines. Like, okay, I can't have this bird live here again. So during day one, when I was outside working in the car, I saw the bird like come back. And as far as I know, this is the first time they made it back. So I just happened to catch them. So I'm like, oh, hello, you. I see you're back, but I'm sorry, you can't live here. So as part of waiting for my friend to come and get the battery, I found a long metal stick, and I went to poke down the nest before they laid any eggs. I did not want to, kill any baby birds for my silence, but I'm like, okay, but if I get it early enough, I should be okay. So I go and do that, but no ladder I can get will reach, even with the long, it was like a telescoping metal pole, meant to reach up into trees. I still couldn't reach up to the top of the house. So, okay, here is the scene I must set for you.
Yeah.
All right. As some of you may know, I live in the Gravity Falls shack. This is my house. I live in the upper half of this, which I think will help also give you that visual indication of what I was dealing with when playing VR. So, dealing with all that went on there. So, what I had to do is, much like Beale Cipher, there is a window up here. I'll say more like down here-ish. So, to reach up to the nest, which the nest is... let's see, take this one. Nest is right here, up here. I had to stick myself out, my entire upper body, out of this window with a metal stick stabbing upwards at the nest to take it down. Which meant that the debris of the nest was raining down upon my face the entire time I was knocking it down. Some karma for ruining this bird's home. I did not feel good about this, but it really was something that caused a lot of problems last year. So I'm like, okay, I have to do this. Now I'm really hoping that I was right this entire time, that I wasn't gonna have eggs rain down upon my face either, which didn't. Nope. No, there were no new babies that rained down on my face when I did that.
Not living.
Good face for this part. Yeah, turned out that maybe the baby from last year didn't make it, and I had a mummy fall on my face.
Mummy!
Yeah! So poke. Ah! Which I deserved. I feel like I deserved this one on there. But anyways, we got that. I got the rest of the nest down. But yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting rid of nests in places where they shouldn't be is a good thing.
I mean, but the bird was able to live last year. I mean, I don't know if that affected why the baby was still in there or not. But I mean, yeah.
I
like animals.
You know the seagulls.
Okay, that's also true. But still,
there are 3 nests in our area when we have an entire beach where they can reside.
Oh, that's also true.
Refuse.
Yeah, I am tempted as part of this though to try to put up a birdhouse somewhere around there for it, but I haven't seen it in a while. But we'll wait. Now, Hilda, you wait. This is going to get better for the bird. Just hold on. But yeah, so I did that, and that was part of day 1. Now, we then move on to returning to day 2 later on. Because after this incident, back on day 1, the bird was understandably upset and swearing at me from a tree for a lot of the time that I was outside. Which I understood. That was kind of what I deserved for all that one. To go through on there. But eventually it went away, and I thought, if I kept trying to, go at it and shoot away to express that if you try to build here again, I will knock it down again. Please go somewhere else now, so I don't waste your time. I really want you to have a good life, with what you can make of it still. So, did that. It seemed to leave, but... So, now we go to day 2. I'm outside... with, oh boy, I'm gonna draw this from the best that I can. I'm out in the yard with the car. Here. Yeah, this is me.
It's Jamie.
It's me. And I'm working on the car. And so while I'm doing this out here, the little bird flies in and lands right next to me. Right next to me on the part of that car. And just stares at me. Like, just lands there suddenly, looks me in the eye the entire time, and then just flies away. It's like, and it was so quick and so sudden, but it had like the reverse vibe of like a Disney princess moment, where like the birds are like, oh, happy, carefree, oh yes, what a wonderful time, ah, yay. And instead it had more of the vibe that I had angered an ancient forest spirit. And it was coming to show me that I have earned its ire. Had to remember your face to plot your murder. Just you wait. So then it leaves. So I'm like, oh, well, that was weird. But man, I have been around animals a lot of my life. I have no explanation for what that bird was doing or why it did that. If there's some other thing I hadn't considered, I don't know. But it was definitely the same bird because there's not many catbirds. Oh yeah, I should mention it's a catbird that lives around here, which is part of the noises that it made. But yeah, so that happened, and I kind of moved on from there, did all that. Okay, I think that's good for visual examples from this. I'll go back on here. So now, catbird, a griffin? Kinda. It's just like a little gray bird. Yes. So, boy. Okay, so we now fast forward back to where we were. My car is at the mechanic. I've been to the doctor. I get a call back, and it turns out that my car is fixable, and actually, the oil doesn't seem to be part of the problem. Surprisingly. Maybe I misread the dipstick or something, but the oil is actually fine. The actual issue was what he called the front muffler? I'm like, what the hell is the front muffler? Haha, silly mechanic, mufflers are in the back. Apparently what he meant was like an intake valve or intake pipe that led to the back. So I'm glad I didn't say that out loud. Again, not a car guy. So they had to replace this pipe.
The grill?
No, not the grill. Yeah, there's a pipe. There's the pipe to go on there. Is the muffler in the muffler? Yeah, it's the muffler. So anyway, so I pay for it, get that all ready to go, and I get to go, or I finally get a ride to go get it, because they weren't as particular when I dropped it off. So I had to get a ride now.
There's a pair of panties there.
No random high or college graduation dressed guy was stuffing panties in my car's muffler. Anyway, sorry. Apollo Justice if you haven't been watching. But anyway, so, what was it? Did a thing with a thing. Oh, yes. So I got a ride to get my car. And I got to drive it home. And I now have my car working back. And I have two cars now. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm doubly good to get to the hospital with my now appointment on Wednesday. That's fine. So I get it all ready to go. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I have some time before I have to go back to work. Myself on my lunch hour. And, what is it? So, oh yes. So I thought, okay, I should go grab the stuff that I put in the shed and put it back in my car. Like the jumper cables, the blanket, and all that, and get that all ready to go again. So I go to where I left the pile underneath where the bike was. And I go down and go get it. Go get that one. And it's still there. It's still there. That's not where this is going. It's still there. However, it has more seasoning to it than when I left it there. As in, it was a little more white than when I left it there. This pile of random assorted car things. Apparently, for the 4 days that it was in the garage, some bird out there was landing on the hook that was holding up the bike, and just because it was there, pooping. It was just pooping for 4 days, and it was just so much. It was so much. And like, I look around, nothing else of my dad's has anything on it. It's just my stuff. And I'm like, oh no. Oh my God. So I had to clean this, but yes?
That was shitty of them.
That was pretty shitty of them, honestly. But I mean, I'll take it, because I still feel like I was pretty mean to that bird. Oh my God. I'll never know exactly what cloaca that schmuck came out of. I don't. I can't prove it, but I have a theory. And I've actually since then, because this was Monday, I think this happened on. I've gone back there. There's not a drop of shit since then either. I don't know. This was a targeted attack upon my person. Oh, we're gonna go through on that one there. But yes, what were we gonna say?
Oh no, that was it.
That was it. Okay. Oh, so yeah, so I will have to wait to see as well if that's the end of the bird either. That might just be the start. Oh yeah, because I was telling my landlord about my old landlord, my old coworker, and like, well, wait, what kind of bird was it? I was like, it was a cat bird. Aren't those a really smart bird? What? What do you mean? And then I go to look it up on the internet, and the first article I see is catbird, a really smart bird. Oh. Oh God. I actually legitimately think I might have made a nemesis in my life. I don't know. You need to kill that bird. I will not. I will not. But legitimately, I'm going to have to see what we're going to have to do. And I haven't seen the bird in a while, so I'm hoping it's moved out elsewhere. But man, it's just now a matter of waiting to see what is going to happen next with the bird. How many times do I have to use this emote? I mean, no, it makes sense every time. You have to kill him before it kills you. I will see if it escalates first. I don't, because I mean, like I said, I deserved it. That was a very selfish thing that I did that I really thought was necessary, but he should get some comeuppance. But yes? Or I should.
Sometimes that is necessary.
We'll see. We'll see if it goes there first. I'm going to give it a chance because, yeah, because this bird's going to have more opportunities, I think.
Kill you, then you kill it. Yeah, you're right.
Next article, local man killed by bird horde. Yeah, now it's birds and deer, which, by the way, I actually forgot a little mini piece. When I was driving my car to the mechanic with the bike in it, 3 deer ran out in front of my car. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna take it to the mechanic. No, listen to me. You are not adding to this situation. I'm going to the mechanic. Okay. So, did all that one. Well, yeah?
Could you read Dragoni's comments?
Hey, the bird probably shouldn't be nesting in the mummified corpse of its offspring anyway. I mean, like, yeah, maybe it just didn't go well last year, and I'm going to help this bird find a better spot. I don't know. I wish the bird the best. He might have been. I mean, maybe there were multiple, though. That's just the one that didn't make it. I don't know. I hope it finds a better spot, though. It has a good life this year. I hope. But where do we go from here? I think the next bit... Things that kind of overlapped from here. Let me think about this. I'll go right into... So I went to the hospital on Wednesday. That was this Wednesday. For final confirmation. So things are getting really close and really, like, final. And, I mean, I may have been having some trouble sleeping as things got closer, because, you know, this is a lot to think about. Like, what happens? What do I do? What's my future like? Because, I mean, like, it seems like it's going to be fine, but I should come up with plans to prepare myself in case I get this bombshell of bad news. Go through. And so I wake up and finally go to the hospital on there and get that all squared away. And go through the procedure. And which mostly was just a ultrasound to, like, look at it and then take pictures and have the doctor look at it. Where I had a very optimistic nurse, by the way. They took the picture. They're like, oh yeah, don't worry. Your doctor should be able to, like, look at these real quick and should have, like, an answer back to you in, like, an hour. It was not an hour. It was a long time. But anyway, so we had that all going through. And I thought, okay, well, now wait, I could... What was it? Oh, this is such a mini part of the story. They have an app you can, like, log into for, like, results and stuff. To make a peace offering, maybe. So... It just wasn't letting me, like, make an account for some reason. So I had to like, call their support to go through and make the account and go through for the account. And then I was on there for like 15 minutes waiting for someone to pick up the phone. Got somebody, found out there's this one missing piece of my records they had to fill in for me to be able to make the account. And that was great. I then got through the first page of making the account. And then the second page failed. And I said that I'd had enough today and left it alone. But anyway, I go home and I finally get done. As you know, I eventually do get the results from the doctor. Oh yeah, like 15 minutes before Apollo Justice, by the way. 15 minutes before I finally get confirmation. They're like, oh yeah, no, they seem benign. I'm like, yay! So
Yay!
I was just a ball of emotions during. I was so tired. But yeah.
What?
Yeah, this guy goes through a lot. Whew, but we're fine. Things are better for that one there. And it's nice to have confirmation that things are going to be okay. They're going to be okay. So now that's... hey, no, give me the reverse of rip. I'm not dying. Do you have any, like, P-I-R? Peace? Life. Give me a life emote. I'm going to be fine. Thank goodness. But okay, so now I have my confirmation. That's it. I'll take that. That's good. Yes, so that's all good and nice and happy. But so now I have to unravel the rest of it. I have to figure out how to sell my car to my niece. I have to find my own car to get that one. I also wanted to buy a bike for myself. Now that I can do that, I'm like, oh, I can get myself a bike on there. And I'm kind of caught up in like the yay, everything's great. So I might be like, you know, like really itching to get all this cool stuff and like, you know, just have a celebration for going through all that because god damn. But anyway, and then what else? Oh yeah, I also wanted to buy my dad a new laptop because his was dying and he's doing his YouTube show, which actually has the big thing going on with his fossil hunting videos that are doing really well. So I'm looking forward to doing that with him too. So I want to buy the computer. So doing all that.
He didn't see any of that.
Oh, what's that?
Let me just do this again.
Why were you dropping all the? Is this because of life? Or what is the emote?
You were just saying, what? Drop these emails, and everyone just started spamming emails.
Oh yes, no, I saw. Sorry. Yes, thank you for all of the emotes. I appreciate. We live. He's beautiful. But yes, okay. So, long story short, I have to unravel all those things, and I need to buy these things. And now we get to the things that I hinted at for you. The thing that is a new, interesting little ham butt. New, interesting little caveat. Yeah, to this whole situation. All right.
Random dude on YouTube. Wow, the Pokemon hacking guy is doing a collab with the fishing guy.
Yeah, basically. I will live many more days. I'm so excited. It's very, very, very concerning.
Thank you, Ham. I appreciate.
What is it? Oh, yes, okay. So, I need to buy these things. I discovered something that happened.
Yeah.
All right. Where to start this? When I went to college, I made my first bank accounts because I got like a gas job at the time, do some stuff, earn some money. And at the time, I made the accounts for it. And then, so apparently what you're supposed to do is at that phase of your life, put it under your parents' name because that way it doesn't like affect your college funding or anything. So they were made under my mom's name. She used the primary on the account and I'm the secondary. This is, again, the most technical I'm going to get about this. I'm not going to go into a whole banking on the whole there. But, so basically, if you look at the account, it looks like it's owned by my mi madre. Now, I a fully functioning adults have not since then gone and changed that to me to own them. And up to this point, that's not really been a problem. Which resulted in me not going to fix it because it wasn't a problem. But now it's a problem. In a very unique way. Okay. So, before my mom went down on their Florida fossil hunting vacation, my bank had a promotion of like a CD. Ironically, they call it a CD, but it's like a little like account you can put your money into that you cannot take it out of. You say, okay, bank, you get to have this. I will not take any of this. And then they'll give you high interest. And then when you're done, you get to have a lot of money back because of that. It's like a 5% thing, like biggest she had seen for a while. So she rushed real fast to go and secure money for those CDs on that. She did that before they left on there, and that seemed good for her. Now, soon after they left, I did notice something. That when she left, when she put the money on there to do the CDs, she did them on my account, which doesn't affect me in any way. It just means that they're on mine. I just need to transfer them over to her later. That's fine. That seems to go on there. But I only noticed this week that I was wrong about one thing. There's not one CD. There's 2 CDs on my account. One was money my mother added. The other was my entire savings account that she converted into a CD!
Oh, no.
Oh, my God!
That's bad. That's a little bad.
How is this much happening in the span of a month-ish at most? Now, I mathed it out. I mathed it out with the money I have in my checking account. Right! Yes! Now I mathed it out. Even if I buy the bike, the computer, the car, everything. I was looking into buying a new phone too, but I'm gonna do that later. I don't really need one. I'll save that one for later. I will still be okay. But just the feeling, the sinking feeling of realizing that my money was just happened to be. I'm not even mad. It's honestly very funny, but just the timing of it all, where that's all.
Like, you're in a situation where you know it will be resolved at some point, but
so much has already happened. I'm just like, oh, but anyway, that's for as shocking as that was. Once I mathed it out and saw that I will be fine, I can afford all of it, and we'll have a nice nest egg in case anything else happens. Before they come back, it'll be okay. And we'll take the money back out. I'll let her keep whatever interest it made. I'll just take my money back. It's fine. I will tell you guys when she finally comes back from that Florida trip, probably sometime in May. And I'll tell her what her face was, because she has no idea this has happened yet, because she worries. But anyway.
Why?
Like, man, like during part of this, like I happened to tell her that there was a letter in the mail from the tax service, and she sent me texts every day to make sure that her taxes were okay, even though I told her that her taxes were okay. My sister had done them. So that alone was like, nope. Don't tell her about the car. Don't tell her about the bank accounts. We're gonna be okay. My bank account was in my parents' name too. I just opened an account in my name. You are more responsible than I, Gomez.
The bank just transferred the rights to me automatically.
I called them about it actually last year because I realized that this was still happening. But we have to both go in person for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm like, oh, okay, we can do that at some point. But then, just never got around to it. Thinking, I can do it at some point. What's gonna happen? Ha! Anyway, so...
logical. I got a phone call from the bank like, hey, your mom is like trying to do stuff, like, with my permission. But I need to hear that you have the permission to do that because it's now your account.
That sounds so much nicer. Because
Jay.
goddamn.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
The benefit of living in a town with 2,000 people.
Yeah.
In
That's. Yeah. I envy you for that. Because god dang. When dealing with money, it's good to make sure everyone involved knows who they say they are. Yeah. So. It'll be fine. I think this will be easy to unravel. It's gonna be really funny when I tell her, once I assure her up and down that everything's gonna be okay. That's gonna be fine. And to go through. And I think that was actually supposed to be the end of the story today. We're not quite done yet. This is really small. But before I tell that one, is there anything I forgot? What's that?
I don't believe you.
No. I mean, this is continuing. It's literally happening right now.
What do you mean?
Well, let me just make sure there's no details that I have forgotten. See, I went to talk to the bike shop guy. I went to the bike shop first to buy a helmet and a bike seat because I had to prepare my dad's bike for that long ride. And then it turned out there were bikes that were on sale. That were like on clearance, actually. I'm like, oh, that's a great time to buy a bike when they're on clearance. That'd be really a big sale for it. All of them are really horrendous colors. I think I saw when they were on sale.
The bird is outside Jade's windows as we speak with the glass cover.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, to go through. No, I don't think there's anything else in this entire almost 2-hour long story. Boy, this is a little longer than the deer stories, huh? Yeah. Yes. So.
As you can tell, I've been using my time very wisely.
Yes. A good thing you now have the faces for it. Yes. All right. So the newest development is that now that I know that my money is okay, everything's gonna go good for it. I really want to get the computer from my dad. To get that prepared for him to use right when he gets back. Just, there's no real, wait for it. And maybe a nice surprise. Also to have him, let's say, this is my thank you for you having to fix my door that I'm looking at right now that I broke while you were gone. But that's a story we've told before. We know that story. I mean, it's a little bit of a peace offering because, that door is really broken. But anyway, we'll figure that part out later. But yes, so... That computer was supposed to arrive in the mail today to come in. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I'll be able to look at it this weekend and get to have fun with cause I have to take his dead laptop, extract the hard drive out of it, and try to put it over into the other one, and get that all good to go. And I find a little note on the door that says no one arrived to sign for it. Oh, but yes.
I think there are multiple people in the chat that have heard of said door.
Oh. Okay. Let me finish this part, and then there'll be a bonus story of the door! Okay. I forget what I think... What series did I mention breaking the door on? This would have been...
I don't even remember this.
This probably happened back in, February. So it was a little while ago. But I mentioned it as, I think it might have been during one of the Final Fantasies, a while ago. Pre-spaghetti. Pre-spaghetti.
I may have tuned you out.
Maybe. But I'll tell it again for that one there. What is it? So... Oh, yes. So what's coming? I found a note on the door. I didn't realize, because I have not had anything shipped to me from FedEx in a while, that FedEx wants you to sign for the package. I'm used to UPS coming by and just leaving it at the door. And I'm like, oh crap, I missed them. And then, so I'm like, oh man, but why didn't they ring the doorbell?
Oh.
The doorbell's missing. Doorbell's... There's the plastic part where the button would be, but it's gone. It's just completely empty. There's nothing there. I'm like, oh, okay. Bird stole your doorbell. But that's the thing. I didn't hear them. They probably knocked, but I'm upstairs in the triangle house. I can't really hear them.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a minor side thing with that actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Which is funny because today my mom went by because I was walking the dog and
Uh-huh.
I was like, well, I will do it on one reason and one reason only.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. Can you buy me potato chips?
Oh!
So she did that.
There you go. Yeah, so the doorbell is gone.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's no, sorry. Go ahead.
The problem was then her arriving. Because I put on my headphones while playing a little bit of Monster Hunter.
Okay.
And suddenly, just in my right ear, I hear, Saps?
I see.
So she was then in my hallway with my chips and all that.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, oh, sorry, I just put on my headphones. I couldn't hear you. Oh, that's fine. They block your sound really well if you knock. I rang the doorbell. Oh.
Oh, is it dead?
I don't think it's dead. I think it's just my sound was so high. I couldn't
Oh,
hear the
right.
doorbell.
And that probably happened to me too. I work with my headset on for a tech support job. All that
so
one.
It was just really funny how you mentioned this now.
Yeah, it's a very familiar problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to. No. It's not that it's okay. I should say it's less loud. These headphones are very sound isolating.
Yes, mine too. I had the Bose one. So yeah, okay.
So yeah, it's just a thing of like when someone talks to me out nearby, I have a tendency to tune out sounds I don't need to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
So a doorbell while I'm listening to Monster Hunter's fights, doesn't really register that hard.
Right, so I went in one ear and out the other. Okay.
Hearing my name, on the other hand.
Yeah, you're like, whoa! When you think you're alone, especially. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So I need to solve that problem now too, because now we don't have a doorbell for me to hear them. And I'm going to be upstairs tomorrow trying to set up for the wheel. So, and if I miss them, I think it's the final delivery attempt, and they won't try again. So I have to try really hard to fix that. And I don't know, because I can't just sit by the door the whole time, but I also can't miss them. So I was gonna see how long it took to tell today's story, is the thing.
Uh-huh.
And then if I got done by 5:30, and it's 6:07 now, I was gonna run to Walmart because I looked up. They have wireless doorbell systems, and I was just gonna plaster another button down there, and then just carry the thing with me until I hit the button, and leave a little paper sign saying, "FedEx, please push this button to summon me. I'll come running, please." So now I have to figure out what to do. I might have to run right after stream because they close at 11. But yes,
Jay, I have a very dumb idea.
hit me.
You write a note with your number on it.
I thought about that, but I'm like, what do I do if they're not legally they're not company allowed to do that?
Right, that is concern.
Yeah. So I want to have something simple, and plus they need a new doorbell anyway, so maybe I can just do them a favor, my parents, and just get them a new doorbell.
Gunny also has a similar idea. That was
Yeah,
insane.
and I did think of that one
just
first,
toss
and
a
that's the
rock.
simplest one, but it's just risky because I don't know if they're allowed to do that. They probably
Jay,
are.
There's more to it.
Oh, sure. Oh.
Or throw
please,
a rock in the window or
were
something.
you allowed to throw rocks at my window? I'll think it's the bird!
Jay, at that point, you need to allow the bird to win the fight.
Let the bird call me out? Yeah, sure.
Allow the bird to win the fight so you can win the war.
No, the bird's gonna be fine. I'm not going to harm this bird. Oh my goodness. So, right, I was gonna try to run to Walmart before stream to go get a doorbell to put up there because I need to I need to try to avoid going to Walmart in the morning because what if they arrive while I'm trying to find the solution to that problem? I also thought about running a string out the window and then putting bells. FedEx guy, can you yank this when you get here?
That's not a dumb idea.
I know, but I'm like, what if it doesn't work?
Let me rephrase. It is a dumb idea. But if it works, it's convenience.
Right. So if I can't get to Walmart after stream tonight, I might have to try that. I don't know. Yeah?
Have a string just outside the window. And on your end, it's attached to a stick. So when they drag, it starts cluttering in the window.
Oh, that could work. I was thinking about just putting like a tray on the string, and when they pull the tray over, and it goes BAM! It just falls over.
All the goddamn plates on the tray just crash and
Yes, exactly. Like, oh, Phoenix is here! So that's my backup plan if I can't get the doorbell. Yeah?
That just sounds like a lunatic, but just needlessly complicated.
That's how I handle things! Oh my god.
And I love the sound.
I'm glad. This has been an interesting one, I'll tell you what. But yeah, so I need to figure out if I need to go to Walmart to get the doorbell, or if we need to set up some kind of convoluted string machine, or just leave them my stinking number. See if that works, because I can't miss it tomorrow, and I hope they don't arrive during stream tomorrow. I guess if the thing falls over, we'll know.
Yeah, that would be
You all
funny.
know why. What's that?
That would be funny.
That would be funny, though. It would be. Oh, I guess they're here now. FedEx! Yes, so I gotta solve that part, because I don't want the computer to go back again. I only just got it here. Figure that one. But okay, so that was supposed to be the end, and I was gonna be like, oh, well, and I'm gonna go right now to go get the doorbell. But it is way too late, because this took 2 hours and 3 minutes to tell so far. Okay, but now, since we have time anyway, let's get to the bonus story of the door.
Yeah.
And I think we gotta get back to it. The canvas. All right. So's we all now are well aware that I live in a triangle. So let me now properly draw the shape of my door.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's my door. Lead me downstairs. Handle right here. Little door hinges right here. That's how that works. As you can tell, the main thing, this is not a standard door. We did not buy this from anywhere. This was built because my dad built my house. He built this house here on his own. Designed that whole thing. So he also built this door. And the way that this door works, to keep it simple, weird door, yes. It doesn't use like a latch. It's not a doorknob that you twist that pulls out like a plunger that goes into a hole. It uses like a little cylinder, and there's 2 of these, like so, and then there's a ball that sticks out like this, and these balls are on. Well, there used to just be one, but when we added soundproofing to it, it got heavier, so it needed more. So these balls are on springs. They, when you push on them, they push in, like so. And then they do have like a little tiny like divot that they will close into, and then that one, and then the tension of the spring on the ball pushing into the little socket in here, with 2 of them, is enough to hold it shut, but it's not solid. It's like just enough to keep it closed. Like it's not a door you can slam, that kind of thing. So that's how that works. But you'd think that a door like that couldn't get stuck, because it's spring balls. But okay, how to explain? I think I need to draw better the thing. So on this side of the door, there's a block of wood, like so, like that. And this has these little divots in them, like a little inward thing that hold it in. If I drew it flat, they look like this, with a screw here, and a screw down there, and there's a little like ball receiver. There's a receive the ball. There's a little like ball houser, but There's a dimple right there. The ball swings into the dimple and holds it like that. So apparently, because there's 2 of these, so therefore there's also 2 of these sockets, like so. Receive the ball. Both of these, with their screws at the top and the bottom, apparently at some point loosened. And they pushed out a little bit so that the edge of the dimple, like right here, and the edge of the dimple like on there, got caught on this part. The part of that houses the ball houser, and that has no give to it. And so both of them at the same time loosened to the same degree to get stuck here and here so that the door would not open. And I thought, oh, well, that stinks. But I guess if I jostle the door a bit, I could, loosen them up and then push the door open. Like, there's just a ball spring there. But no matter what I did, they were just perfectly latched on to the edge of the ball cusps here. It wouldn't give. And the door frame on the other side is right here. So this part is covered by a wall on the other side. So that means that I couldn't just take a screwdriver and try to poke these. I'd have to go over this way and then this way at a 90-degree angle that I can't do with any metal or anything. I can't touch these balls. So after much jostling and trying and poking, does this end with a visit from the fire department? No. This ends with Unga Bunga. This ends with what if I just gave it a really good push?
No, that's bad. But before we get to that bad,
yeah,
I have a question.
Sure.
Have you been visited by the fire department before?
No, not even when I lit the vacuum on fire, I don't think.
Wait, I think I remember.
Yeah, that's we have a wood stove. A coal escaped the wood stove. I thought I could just vacuum it up, but I vacuumed up what was a recently hot coal, and the air blowing in the vacuum blew on the coal, and boom, 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 boom. Anyway, so yeah, but Unga Bunga me decided that I have no other course of action but to really push in this door, and 1 or 2 things will happen. I will either pop the door open and be fine, or crunch. Can you guess? Which of the 2?
You popped the door open with a crunch.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So a chunk of the wood is broken off here. This entire thing. The door itself is fine. It's just this piece of wood here. But unfortunately, it's not screwed into the wall. It's embedded into the wall, so it's not going to be easy to replace. But I mean, we could cut this part out and splice another piece of wood in there, then screw it in. I don't know. I'm not really a wood man. That's my fuck. I'm not really a wood worker. I'm not really a wood worker. So we gotta figure that part out. Now, thankfully, just right here is the eye hole. We have one of those there's a little hole on there, and then my door has a hook that falls into the hole. So I can shut that, and then so it latches the door and holds it shut that way. So thankfully I can still close the door, but to keep cold air I had to get a little door stopper and shove it under the door down here to keep it tight enough so I wouldn't increase my electric bill. I'm not really a Crom. One day that'll happen too, then we'll splice those together. Whew. But yeah, so gonna have to replace that one, and that's gonna be tricky because that's a custom door. Not really any kind of stuff you can buy for that. But maybe it'd be good to get a nice latch for the door anyway, because I have been trying so hard to soundproof this door because my poor parents downstairs. I'm a noisy boy, noisier than any of you know, because I still have that magic box that when I scream, lowers my volume more than you hear. There's a lot happening over there. So I could be at the top of my lungs and you will never know. And that all goes downstairs. So if I can get an actual normal, socket latch for the door and shut it more tightly, maybe they'd hear me less. Maybe. I'll figure that out. So, yeah, gonna have to get my dad to help me with my door. So I got him on my computer. And I gotta get a doorbell to make sure I receive it tomorrow. Or set up a convoluted Lou Gehrickson? Jerry Lewis? What machine is that? The machines, the kind of... What are those machines? A convoluted... Oh, Rogue, thank you. One of those machines that the FedEx guy has to pull on to alert me that he's here. I'll probably make his day, though, if I do that. How are you planning on telling your father... that you broke his custom-made door? When he's home, and probably a couple days after he's home. Because there's nothing worse than coming back and then hearing all the stuff that happened when they're gone. Mm-hmm. So, thankfully, everything's pretty stable. But so I'm gonna have to hold on to this for just a little bit when they come back. I will not bury them with oh my god, you've hid my money. I had to change the battery in your car. And then what is it? I broke the door. They can just do it on the drive back. I don't think they watch the channel. Uh-oh. Nah, I don't think they watch. They're also down in Florida on limited signal. I don't think they'd be watching the whole thing. But yeah.
Hey Jay.
Yeah.
What's your mom's Facebook account?
Nunya is how you'd spell the name.
Nunya?
Nunya beeswax. We ain't gonna go there. Ooh. So yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell them oh hey, I got checked out for cancer while you were gone. Anyway. Ooh. Yes. So I think there's another bit. It's a real quick bit. So with the car, there is one more problem with my mom's car. After changing the battery, the digital odometer is blinking. Maybe the reading is off. They want me to reset it, or you can set trips to track how far you've driven in a set amount of time. Maybe that's just offset because the battery was off for a while. That can't mean anything too bad. Apparently, it means the entire Bluetooth device in the computer is down, something like that. It's there's multiple multiple communication devices, which are not essential in there, so that's okay. But when I was Googling it, apparently a lot of people have this problem, blinking odometers, and most people just learn to ignore it. But there was one thing I saw on the forums of a common symptom of the blinking odometer that makes me concerned. Battery drain. Apparently, if that's blinking, it's possible the device is faulty and draining the battery of your car over and over, meaning that battery might go out again. And I'm oh dear God, please. So I've been checking it from time to time to make sure the battery is still good until my mom can come back and drive it more frequently and keep it charged. I think, maybe. I don't know. Is that the reason why the battery was at the beginning with? I don't know. I mean, because it was also sitting for a month and a half, so probably not, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, battery setting still and not being driven, that will drain the car battery. That doesn't even need to be a modern thing.
Yeah, so I think it'll be okay. But what's that?
My old car suffered from that once.
Okay.
It was a 98 model, so yeah, not modern at all.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on your definition of modern, but I wouldn't say that's a modern car.
Right.
That's how my car battery died.
Oh, right. Oh, actually. So...
Oh, no.
when I bought the new battery, the exact same new battery, they told me that if I brought back the old battery and turned it in, I would get like a little rebate on it for like helping to encourage you to recycle your batteries and not put them in the trash and have them like leaking in places like a junkyard. So like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So I went back to take the other battery later on. It was the day that I went to the doctor. Actually, I dropped off the battery, to get the rebate. But I got some new guy who didn't know about this and didn't let me do it. But then in doing so, because I still have the dead battery, but he said that he looked at it like, hey, this is one of our newer models. I don't know why this would be dead. You know, if you try to charge it, you could probably bring it back. I'm like, well, I jumped it. I don't think that I can revive it, but then, like, if that didn't work, he's like, nah, probably it's just so dead that you need a slow charger, and you could probably like coax it back to life. I didn't know that.
I mean, either.
So, because I thought that like it was dead. Now I don't know. I have a friend who possibly has a charger that might work. Maybe. I gotta find a chance to try it at some point. I don't know. But if not, I'll wrap it and give it to my mom and say, Happy Mother's Day! I don't know. I'm sure that my dad, who like builds his own boats and houses, can find something to do with an extra car battery. I'm sure. And plus, I'm gonna guess that if it stayed dead, some damage did happen to the battery acid, so it's probably safer for her to have a new battery anyway. So I think she'll appreciate it. But, boy. So many layers to new cars, you know, eh? And here I'm trying to buy my own. But yes.
And you know, cars?
Yeah, cars. Fucking cars.
Don't fuck your car.
No, I mean, yeah, don't do that. Mufflers get very well. Why did I? Never mind. I am very hungry. It is 6:30. You shush your mouth. It's 6:30. No. And I should get some dinner before we try to set up Oh Dear, which thankfully there's hopefully no maintenance tonight. That'd be silly.
I opened the game. It seems like it might be really easy.
It looks like a simple game, hopefully. No like tutorial or anything. So we'll see that one. Yeah, we'll see that one.
The best way I could describe the main menu.
Deer Simulator?
Fortnite lobby, but convenient.
Oh! But convenient. Oh, okay. Cool.
You know how like you have your character in the middle and then you have like the 4 other ones or 3 other ones you can like click and invite people to?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was like that.
Okay. Gotcha. Ooh. So, yeah, hope that'll be easy. Oh, I've had a week. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna go prepare to a deer game for some reason. Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
I actually have a minor good news for you, Jay.
For me?
Technically.
What's that?
Technically. So, you know Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So, apparently, I have gotten it so that on Sunday, when we start, I've literally done everything I can, except for the fights.
Wow. Okay. And I have good news for you.
That I've been neglected. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all the side content that have been neglected.
Oh, yeah?
Now been done.
Oh, yay! Did you get back to the town?
Yeah.
No cave you were stuck in. No. But
now,
also,
what is your good news for me?
I did this so that I wouldn't try to bury you in these stories during Final Fantasy.
I mean, this was also a good story to have, like, to share elsewhere, like, outside of just the Final Fantasy crowd.
This was an eventful whole situation. So I hope that'll all work out. And my oil comment, I'm wrong. It's not bad to change the oil often, just inefficient. Okay, well that's good. That's good. So I'm glad, and I'm glad that somehow I didn't damage the car seemingly. Though the check engine I did turn back on in my car again. So, as far as I can tell, like my apparently only needs it for like a summer, so it should be okay. So I don't know about that one. This story had a lot of continuity. Yeah, this would have been a nightmare to try to tell in any other way. Poor Ori. I'm so sorry. But yes.
Literally, if we were to play Final Fantasy and you tell the story, with the way that's structured, you wouldn't have gotten halfway through before the stream was done.
Honestly, because it would have taken at least half the stream to do it. Over half. We're a half hour away almost of a full stream.
And
yeah, so I'm glad we did this.
In the middle of your story, getting sidetracked by actual game story, and then recounting where you were in
Where
the
it
story
was, yes.
before getting
So much
immediately
overlapping.
sidetracked by more story.
Yes. So when bigger ones happen like this, I'm going to go try to do this kind of thing more often, so that I can
I mean,
point people to the video about the story. But yeah,
Jay, just chatting is a very popular segment for a reason.
that is true. That is true. And I hope I did some pretty good visuals for that whole thing. I like how I'm delaying eating food during gourmet race too.
Yeah, me too. I have like a 1, 2, 3, toss it in the microwave food waiting for me.
Yeah, I gotta get my egg in my microwave too.
Wow.
All right. So yes, so as you go get those things ready to go, thank you very much for enjoying the insanity that was this whole mess that I've gone through. I feel so much better. I think that this will be a good time. I haven't exactly set up for tomorrow, but I should be able to throw something together for the wheel.
That should be easy.
That
Just
should hopefully
do
be
the one
easy.
game I suggested for you. That should be easy.
Oh
to set up.
yeah. I'm glad. I thought this would be a very entertaining story, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. But I actually have a minor little thing as well, Jay.
Oh yeah?
Because this will also bring up to what will be on Sunday early. So
Yes.
while on the competition stuff,
Uh-huh.
I did mention you to some of the people
Me?
because we were talking about how some people can't handle spice. Because at one of the days we had like a fried place to eat, and they had some really spicy meals. And they mentioned like, oh, some people are bad with pepper and stuff like that. And I mentioned you and your eggs in microwaves, and they were like, why?
Wait, why did the eggs come up?
Because your eggs and spice, or rather, lack thereof.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's true. My spicy wheat bread, which was the wrong word to use. I thought you were talking about when I ate a pepper, bit into the seeds, and thought I was dying. But anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, on Sunday though, early, we will also do another one of these streams.
Yes!
But that is me with the competition.
Yeah, because I missed so much of that one. I'm looking forward to hearing like all the mini stuff on like the Minecraft things, all the other games that you played on there, because I want to hear the whole story. I only got to be there for the end. And if you haven't seen it either, this man won a gaming competition in Norway. The gaming competition in Norway. Norway's best gamer.
What? One of them, yeah, which is why I have the crown.
Oh, that's what that is.
The chat even told you what it was.
I was in mid-story. I'm sorry.
You said, what's that yellow thing? And immediately got a response.
That's just how me brain works. Sorry. I thought it was a drop of honey. I don't even know why I thought it was honey. Where did I get that from? But anyway, yeah, so hopefully you can enjoy that story there too. But yes?
I don't know where you got that from.
No. It's amazing for that one. I like how I'm talking about this competition like they have no idea that you were in it. Like you had so many like practice streams to get ready for that too. You had so many. Of course they know you're trying to do a competition. Put a Norway flag on it. Oh, there you go. Anyway, let's go get some food. So we will see you for that one. So it'll be in about half an hour. We'll be doing Oh Deer, a murder, kind of like a prop hunt deer, also kind of Wendigo game.
As far as we know at the very least.
Yeah, it just looks weird. We're gonna have fun trying it with Ham. It's gonna be a great time. And then tomorrow will be the wheel.
Wouldn't be surprised if this game turns out to be a flop. We might have a backup in mind or something.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll switch to something kind of back and forth. But it looks really funny, and I've seen some clips about it around, which is how I learned about it.
Oh, you have?
So yes. So it looks like the kind of thing that we could definitely have some fun with.
Single thing.
Yeah. So hopefully that should be good. But we'll figure it out from there. Yes. And then and on Sunday will be the early story with Saps and the competition, and then Final Fantasy getting back to that as well. Or we will not talk about spaghetti.
At least try.
As always, company.
I will also show you all the things
there.
you missed.
Oh, what's that?
I'll also show you all the things you missed.
Yes.
Side
Good.
content.
All the
Like
videos.
the card game getting plots.
Yes.
I am not kidding. The card game got plots.
Oh, I thought you were going to collect. Oh.
No.
I'm sure that will be fine. Should be good. But I am delaying to get the food into my mouth. So, see you for Oh Dear. See you for all the things. And I hope you had a better week than I did this week. Next week, I wish you all the best luck. I will just absorb all the bad luck again, because I don't know what happened, but I angered some god somewhere. Because dear God, I would like my life to calm down for just a little bit. That'd be super cool. That'd be super cool. But anyway, goodbye for now. See you in 25 minutes.
Whoa.